Is it Mosquito? Good morning, Mosquito.
Hey, good morning. I am your friendly mosquito.
All right, what's on your mind?
Well, I'm not a fan of Gavin Newsom at all, but California seems to like him, and they voted him in multiple times, including a recall. So, do the voters not get what they want, what they asked for?
Have you been to California? Do you live in California?
I don't, but I've been there multiple times. My brother lived there. My other family members have lived there. Not
I mean,
currently.
like while Gavin Newsom was governor.
No, I do not believe. No, I'll just say no.
Mm. Okay, so in the last 7 or 8 years, or you haven't been there. Okay, no, not a problem. I'm asking because I think, well, do you believe California is destroyed? Let me just get you on just so I
I
can understand.
I mean, I'm a Trump voter. I'm a Republican, so Gavin Newsom's a
No, it's
clown in
all
my
good.
opinion.
No, it's
He's
all
a
good. If
clown.
we can have yeah, if we can have
Yeah,
legit conversation, that's good. Go ahead.
yeah, that's fine. I'm just prefacing myself that I would never vote for the guy. I think he's a complete clown and fake, and he's just typical slimy politician type of guy. But California seems to overall like him, despite what maybe destruction. But they always claim they're the fourth largest economy and yada yada. Excuse me. And they keep voting for this idiot. So, do they not get what they deserve?
I don't know. It seems like the people that live in California don't complain. It's always the other people who never been to California or just don't live in California. I feel like those are the people who have a perspective.
Yeah,
I
and
think I think it's just the people who don't live in California can look at their own states, and again, it doesn't matter what state it is. Your state's not better than California. No state in the union is better than California. So I feel like that there's some sort of derangement syndrome in that regard, but that's my personal take.
sure. So I live in Wisconsin, which is probably the most insane political state in the country, believe it or not. But we do elections, and we're a very purple state. We do elections like crazy here. So we're always fighting each other politically, and I've been in the political scene, so I sort of understand it. But California overall seems to be, somewhat successful. Yeah, I mean, they have a shit ton of debt, and they do nuts stuff, but they're a gigantic state, and they're just huge. And they enjoy a very good climate, and they produce quite a few products, including agriculture. Um, and again, I mean, they don't seem to be the people there. Yeah, there was an exodus from California, which I always question. It's like, okay, you're going to sell your house and move out, but you have to sell it to somebody, right? So who? It's not like these houses are sitting empty,
They're not sitting empty. That's what's so funny because somebody
right?
leaves, and I look around. I'm like, shit. The freeways are still jammed up. Cities are still packed.
Right.
Everywhere you look, it's just like it's not like there's some mass exodus, which I think was overblown after the pandemic, in my perspective. But let me
Yeah,
pause really quick. Let me get to Will really quick. Don't leave, Mosquito.
I'm here.
Good morning, Will. Welcome to the live. What's on your mind? What do you think?
Well,
Is the state of California destroyed?
it's not doing great. It could be better, and I have some personal experience with Northern California, specifically above Sacramento,
Okay.
or that I would like to call Southern Oregon.
Yeah, anywhere up north near
That's
the border
funny.
of Oregon. I agree.
Which
What you got for me, Will?
well, it's just it's a more temperate climate. You got more rural people. The Shasta area, Goose Lake, all that. Um, you know, there's the push for Eastern Oregon to go to Idaho, and I think Idaho should take a good chunk of Northern California if they can.
It's not gonna happen.
Well, that's not happening. I mean, I know Oregon's trying to, do that as well, but that's not happening. I mean, I'd like to live in reality if I can. That's not a
Yeah,
reality.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just not a reality. But okay, up north, what's your beef with California? You mentioned the up north part, but what is your beef with the up north? And I say
North,
up
north.
north because I'm from Southern California, so I say up north. So go ahead.
Oh, from the north. Gotcha. Um, it's just mostly the high wages don't match the high cost of living.
Yes, California is definitely it's unaffordable for a lot of people. I agree with you. But somehow 40 million people figure out a way to maintain their life in California. So I find that all questionable, right? Again, cost of living is, yes, it is high. In states that are, high GDP producer states, yes, it is expensive to live, right? But you're paying for a quality of life, in my perspective. But I could be wrong. Mosquito, feel free to jump in too. I could be wrong on either of those points.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to curtail you into a
Oh, no, no,
place.
no. I'm looking for the debate. Let's just debate it out. Feel free to say what
So
you want.
so if California is the breadbasket of the United States, why aren't groceries cheaper?
I think that's the case in all 50 states, right? I mean, I think groceries are expensive everywhere, not just in California. But I take your point.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I think capitalism is a factor in there that nobody controls, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
You tell me.
I
Hold
don't
on, let me
think
get mosquito. Go ahead,
sure.
mosquito.
Yeah, I don't think I mean, I've been to California quite a bit. I don't think pricing there, besides out of energy and housing, groceries is going to be very comparable to any other area in the United States. We're our capitalist society that shares all of those costs together. Why groceries increase was mainly because of inflation, right? And that was countrywide. And
well,
didn't
I
have
mean,
anything to do with California per se. I mean, they produce a lot of our products, or agriculture products, and they enjoy a great
40%.
climate.
I think.
Is it
Yeah,
really?
I think California is 40% of ag in the entire country.
Yeah,
If
that's
I somebody
crazy.
can fact check me on that, but we produce the most in terms of food. Not just the vegetables, but also poultry, cattle, and all that jazz, right?
Yeah, you guys took us
Um,
over as the dairy state. We're very proud of our cows, and then California had to go and steal that from us. So screw you guys. We hate you forever for it. And then you had a slogan like "You make happy cows" or something. It's like, come on, it's like 90. Well, here, what
our
temperature
cows
is
are
right now?
naturally
Uh,
fed.
it's
Okay, we don't
uh,
give our cows
Oh, it's
fucking
it's now
bullshit.
7 degrees. It is now seven
Ronnie,
degrees
who
in
got
the Milwaukee area, so our cows are not very happy at all, I believe, because it is
who
now seven
cares?
degrees
Who
with 12
cares
inches
if
of
cows
snow on
are
the
happy?
ground. So yeah, I believe that
Californians aren't happy.
California's have happy cows because it's not 7 degrees with 12 inches of snow. Cows run hot
Hold on,
though; they run
I
hot.
think Arrest wants to hold on. I think Arrest wants to say something. Good morning, Arrest. Welcome to the live. What is your take on California?
Good morning. Who passed ranked choice voting in California?
What?
Who passed ranked choice voting in California?
We don't have ranked choice voting.
Oh,
Voting.
you have ranked choice. Absolutely.
Did they?
That's
Sir,
why
I've
you
been in
have,
California for 53 years. We've
yes,
never had ranked choice
ranked
voting.
choice is endemic in California, and that is the reason that your state sucks,
I gotta look that
and
up.
I'll never go to it again. So,
New York has ranked choice
Yeah, they
voting.
do.
and
California
so
does
does
not.
California, and that's why they have a Democratic majority year after year after year after year, because in the ranked choice voting system, you end up voting for the two top Democrats. That's it, and that's all who you get to elect.
And in California, it could be a Democrat or a Republican. We don't have
No,
even
it
in our
can't be a
primary.
Republican, and there's a reason for that, because it's ranked choice.
We don't have ranked choice. I'm telling you, sir.
Oh,
I live
you
here.
do. You don't
Yeah,
understand it,
I live here. We don't have ranked choice voting. We just don't.
but you do.
Okay, well, I'm looking for a debate, but you just flat out wrong, and
I'm not.
I think you're just anyway, let's move on, gentlemen, if we can. I appreciate your rationality here. Keep going. I'm not about to get into an argument about ranked choice when I know for a fact we don't have ranked choice voting. That's not a thing in California, anyway. Go ahead, gentlemen.
So
What else you got?
Wikipedia says that there is ranked choice voting in California, but only for local elections in some jurisdictions.
And maybe that's why I don't know about it.
Yeah. So he's
Because
right.
I'm
He's not really. It's not a statewide thing. It would be a local thing. I haven't heard California being a ranked choice voting area, which I just haven't heard that, and I'm pretty knowledgeable on the political scene. So yeah.
appreciate you correcting the record. Thank you very much for that. What else do you have to say? Let's get back to the business of the state. The state, like I said, the state has problems. I'm not suggesting that California is some perfect state. I don't think any state in this union is perfect. I think every state in America, I think America as large is failing across the board. In my perspective, I could be wrong, but in my perspective, every state is experiencing homelessness. Yet, homelessness is only addressed in California or only spoken about, right, in California. Meanwhile, all of y'all states, even though you have a smaller portion of homeless, neither of you have solved it. No
Well,
state have solved homelessness. Not one.
you know how we solve homelessness in the state of Wisconsin?
You ship them to California?
Yep, 9-degree weather. 9-degree weather, 12 inches of snow, shipped to California.
You ship them to California, right?
Yeah,
on, boss.
they make their way there, where they make their way there by the fall, and then they never come back. And I'm a Republican. This is the truth.
The government.
Oh no, I'm agreeing. 62% of our homeless are not from California. That's the crazy fucking stat.
Absolutely. Of course they make their way there. The climate's beautiful.
Yeah, what's the percentage in Hawaii?
Oh shit, Hawaii's off the charts, but I know we have more homeless than any state in America. So, but Hawaii,
Hawaii's an island.
Honolulu,
Yeah.
you go to Honolulu, Honolulu's off the charts crazy with homeless and drug addicts and shit, but
6,400 people in Hawaii. That's it?
6,400 or 64,000?
No, it says there's 6,389 people experiencing homelessness in Hawaii.
Oh,
that's
good.
That's like nothing.
Hey, yeah, you're right. Again, states that have lower population of homeless, why haven't they been able to figure out what to do with their homeless, right? And I think Donald Trump,
they sent them to California.
I think Donald Trump is right, again, in the context of homeless people. I'm like, hey, either you go in the shelter or you're going in the fucking desert and you're going to be in some military camps or military tents, rather, not camps, but you know what I mean. I am not an advocate of homeless people on the streets. I'm just not. I don't support that at all. And I think, again, Donald Trump was right to say that on the campaign trail. I'm looking forward to what he does with the homeless in all of the states, to be frank.
He's not going to do a whole lot. I mean, overall, that's a state local thing overall, in my opinion. I mean, he could help a little bit, but come on. That's a tough pill to tackle nationally, in my opinion.
And
but
the
I think
federal
go ahead, Will. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, the federal government can only help so much, and then the state governments have to take over. And then there's always corruption.
Well,
right?
Yeah. And there's underlying issues of like drug addicts. And I mean, there's substance abuse issues here and a whole other social issues that are impossible to solve completely.
I think that's the problem that we have is people still have rights, right? You can't force people to go into rehab. We're Americans, right?
Well, we're a free country, right?
Force you on shit. Yeah.
You have the freedom to do drugs.
Problem that we have. Yeah.
Freedom is scary. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Freedom ain't free either, goddammit.
No, freedom ain't free. That's like the Team America World Police.
That's what it is. And yeah, you can't force people into tiny homes. I mean, there ain't no
problem that we have in terms of the homeless anywhere is you cannot force, the government cannot force you. Now they can jail you, and I don't think it's smart to jail people. Why should I jail a homeless and it costs, I think in LA County, I'm not from LA County, but I think they said it's like $120,000 a year to house anybody in their prisons or their jails or whatnot.
Really?
That's fucking crazy work for a fucking criminal.
You could just give them that as a wage. Now, granted, some of these people aren't worth that. Or just let's take a social experiment. You could
No,
just
I
give
got you.
them
I got
that
you.
and give them a head start, and hopefully they would become a productive member of society. No, that's not going to happen, but that's crazy to think
You give
about.
them a hammer and say, "Here's your job. You are to hammer this nail
Right.
into this piece of wood, and you'll make 40 grand a year." And then the other 80 grand a year goes to just like rehabilitating that person to just show up to work every day and then go home and then go to work.
Yeah,
But
you got to give them jobs or some way to fucking live. I think I agree with you. Like I want to pay the homeless, "Hey, this area over here is your block. You need to keep this shit clean and we'll give you gift card or whatever. I'm not going to give you cash, but I'll give you a gift card or whatever the case is. I'll give it to you so that you keep this area clean." In my perspective, I think that's how the cities and the states should sort of maneuver this. Um, or if I put you in housing, okay, well, you got to go do some shit to keep your housing, in my opinion, right? If I'm going to give you a motel room, a hotel room, or whatever the means of shelter is, and I'm making sure you're fed every day and all that, I think you should have to work too. I mean, if you're able-bodied and you're not insane out of your mind, schizophrenic, obviously. I'm not talking about those people. We do have a
Yeah.
lot of those people.
Right.
But I'm talking about the others, if you know what I
So
mean.
California's average, and I don't usually do this with Google. I like just talking, but California's average annual cost to prison somebody is $128,000 a prisoner. That's what they budget on average.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
That's
For a
not.
criminal.
I had no idea it was that high. That's insane.
and that's not a cost. That's a forgive me if I'm using this term wrong. That's a stipend.
Well, I guess because our prison bureau people get paid a significant amount of money.
Well,
So it's
right.
talking in the labor to run the prisons. It's
Right.
not really the cost of the actual
No, you're
prison.
not
But
giving it
even
to
that
the
sounds
inmate.
crazy.
Right. But you're
Yeah.
employing all of these other people, and California's
Yeah.
cost of living is so high that it's relative to that.
Right.
But that's
Right. And
crazy.
I think it's insane that it costs that much. It's fucking insane. I'm like, this is why you get these laws in California, which I vote against, but somehow the rest of the people vote for. I'm not an advocate. If you fucking break the law, you're stealing, fuck you, go to jail. I am not an advocate for people to just steal from stores and you just get out and don't go to jail. Now the state did the calculations. Well, what did they steal? Why should I fucking spend $127,000 a year when you just stole some meat from the grocery store, or you stole a a Gucci bag or whatever? You know what I'm saying? I see how they start calculating that shit. Does it make sense to imprison you? And I'm like, no, fuck that. Imprison everybody.
So in Wisconsin, we spend about $20,000 per inmate, I guess.
$20,000.
Yeah, it's broke down
Jesus
a little bit
Christ.
different, where they do about $60 per day per inmate, so it's a little different. But they're just for the sense of conversation, we're spending about 20,000 versus 128,000.
That is totally insane.
That's
of a
crazy.
gap.
That's crazy. That's a huge gap.
That is a huge gap.
Yeah, we're talking
Huge gap.
$108,000 difference. No, yeah.
Where's that 100 grand going?
Well,
You know what I mean?
you might have more prisoners in California. I don't feel like breaking it down, but it's a gigantic gap. We'll just say that.
Yeah, we do. We have the most prisoners in all
Yeah,
of America.
and I
But
don't know how
obviously
many.
that makes sense. We have the most people in America.
Yeah,
So
I don't.
that makes sense.
I think we only have like 2 to 3 major prisons in Wisconsin versus California probably has way more
Doesn't
than
make
that.
sense
So.
just because you have more people necessarily you need to have more prisoners, especially if California. I'm from Carlsbad. Gavin Newsom definitely destroyed California, hands down. There's no
Okay,
debate.
great. I want to talk to you. I know I skipped you, Al. Just give me a second if you don't mind. Please, I don't mean to skip you. But you live in California. Talk to me about how the state's been destroyed. Talk to me.
No, listen. I live in Mexico right now. I'm going back to California in a few years, but it was completely unaffordable to live during the pandemic. There was a mass. Listen, if you ask any other person in any other state, how many Californians moved in? from California, everyone knows Californians are moving into states. Like this is just common. This is just knowledge by living in the United States. Why did New York people and Californians, native Californians and New York people, why are we held to a standard where when we can't even afford to live in our own states and only people who should be able to afford there get to live there, and then just because there are more people means there has to be more crime? No. Actually, Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom incarcerated black people. Yeah. They jailed the hell out of them for minor crimes like marijuana. And Gavin Newsom also put into a bunch of liberal policies that were anti-homeless, like putting and like because homeless people would get smartphones, so they got rid of charger ports out of every main place downtown, so they wouldn't get like in cities. And he also put like spikes under bridges. He ruined the state through horrible infrastructure. He made skating culture like bad too. Like everything about Gavin Newsom sucks. Like he's the worst. I would not trust him to be president. He's the democrat they talk about. He's like AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Elon Omar, and
I agree.
every one of those people's wet dream.
First I've ever heard anybody compare Newsom to the leftist progressives. I've never heard that, but I'll take your point, sir. I've never heard anybody. They say Newsom's a centrist. He's
No,
not.
no.
I'm fascinated by what you just said.
He's a
Fascinated.
social democrat. He's a DSA plant. He's
I think he's a
you want-
DSA plant.
Yeah, do you want to know?
my
You want to
God.
know something else? He has a law relationship with Nancy Pelosi. It's his aunt-in-law. Look it up.
No, it's not his aunt-in-law.
Yes, it is. Look up.
Please, Mosquito, I want you to look up, is Gavin Newsom
Yeah,
related
I've
to
heard
Nancy
that. I'll
Pelosi?
look it up again because let me just
Yeah.
look it up again. So yeah, give me a second.
Yeah, it's they're not related
Not
at
related by
all.
blood. They have some sort
His
of
brother married her husband's brother married some part of Gavin Newsom's mother's family.
But Ronnie,
That is
why?
not related
Yeah,
to
but-
Nancy
but
Pelosi.
they knew each other.
Aunt by marriage. Aunt by marriage. Because of
Check
his
it out.
late aunt, Barbara Newsom
Who's the
married
press
Ron
secretary under
Pelosi,
Joe Biden.
Nancy
The press
Pelosi's
secretary
brother-in-law.
under Joe Biden.
This makes
Marry Ron
Pelosi.
Pelosi in the 70s, and they haven't
So,
been married since.
it-
I mean, it's just a root, sir.
Pelosi's Newsom's aunt by marriage, basically.
So they are related.
Yeah, I suppose
They're
so.
not related. They're not married because she died in the 70s. This is absurd. This is an absurd conversation.
Yeah, but listen, it's about people knowing each other. So Anthony Blinken was the press secretary, and Robert Malley was found out to be an Iranian spy. But press secretary.
Anthony Blinken was never the press secretary. He's the Secretary of State.
Sorry, thank you, Secretary of State. And Robert Malley was found to be an Iranian spy working closely with Anthony Blinken.
I don't want to. Okay, hold on. You're going off task. I don't want to talk about Anthony Blinken. I only want to
sorry.
talk about California. So hold on. Let me pause you. Let me
Same
go to
thing.
the owl.
Okay.
Hold on, if you don't mind, because I skipped over the owl. I'm sorry, the owl. Welcome to the live. What is your take on California?
Hi. I had to go all the way back and like look because we've gone so far from like when I joined. But what we were initially talking about was the price per inmate of imprisoned people, and it's high in California. And I want to come right out and say that like the prison industrial complex, we should not be like farming this out to fucking corporations because what we spend on each prisoner, most of it is going to CEOs. Like it's all bullshit in every state. But in California, I would venture to guess, and if someone wants to check me on this, we're probably spending more per inmate because they're getting better care and better food. When you look at the states that have the lowest, there's a heat map that you can see. And if you look at the states that have the lowest per cost inmate, they tend to be the southern states and the red states and the states where the inmates are generally being treated like inhuman pieces of shit that don't get any medical care.
Yeah, and if somebody, Mosquito, since you're handy on your Google, I don't think most prisons in California are privately owned. I think they're all public owned prisons. I could be wrong, but I think the majority of them.
Yeah, let's
Are
find out.
public owned.
We
But
don't have
then
that in
that would
Wisconsin
also
either. I think they're
explain-
mostly public here, or
That would
are all
also
public.
explain why they're more expensive because the people that are working there are being paid a better wage, and the people that are residing in the prisons are more likely being given better
Well, yeah, I agree.
conditions.
Like our state prisons, and I see you, oil spill. I'll go to you right next. But our state prisons, anyway, not the local, obviously, but the state prisons are true rehabilitation centers. I mean, these people teach folks to get degrees and barbershop licenses and all this type of shit in our prisons. At first I was really annoyed by that. I'm like, bitch, you just committed a crime. I don't want you to get education, but it's grown on me. Yes, we don't want you
When
to
you look at the
recidivate.
alternative,
Yeah, we don't want you to come back to give you some
yeah.
skills. I support that now, right? I for a long time I was an advocate against it. I never want criminals to be getting happiness in prison. I'm not one of those people. I think you should suffer in prison when you commit crimes. That's my opinion. But let me go to oil spill really quick. Let me pause so I can just get oil in here. Good morning, oil spill. Welcome to the live. What do you think about California being destroyed?
Good morning, gorgeous. How you doing today? California. You know what? I find it. I'm gonna just say this. I mean, I'm not even gonna go that way. I'm gonna just say this. The voters in California vote for who they want to run their state. You don't like that the fact, regardless of whether if you live in Texas or any other goddamn state, you don't like that the voters of California put Gavin Newsom in office to run their state, then move your punk ass out. That's the same thing if you live in Texas or any other state. You don't get to dictate who goes in the office. The totality of the voters get to dictate it. And if they're okay with his policies and how he's running it, who am I to complain? I don't know what to say about this. I think this is one of the stupidest arguments where a lot of people bring up about Gavin Newsom, about Texas, excuse me, about California, or if you go to any conservative state. I don't like most conservative states when it comes to y'all rules and y'all laws. I think it's bullshit. I think you shit on your American people, especially your poor in your state. I don't think you give a damn.
Yeah,
With that being said, if I have an issue with that, well, because I know that you're gonna all the time vote these dumb motherfuckers in, I should move the fuck out as best I can. Guess what? No problem.
so you don't think an irresponsible government should ever be criticized?
I never said anything about anybody should not be criticized, sir. What I said was that people who live in these particular states vote these particular individuals in, not once, twice, two, three times to repeat themselves in office because they believe they did a good job.
If
If
all
you
the people,
personally, if
wait,
you
oil. In this
personally,
worldview, if all the people who didn't agree with the governor moved out, then you would always have a monopoly on the elections.
so sir, you can still express your opinion. No one is telling you not to express your
You
opinion.
said move
I'm
out.
saying, what I am saying, sir, is the majority
What's
of the
up,
voters,
niggers? How we doing, boy?
Oh
Uh,
God.
or it's always
Jesus
one, always
Christ.
one.
MAGA, y'all
So
gotta get it together.
I
it's
just
Chris,
I just
always
wish they
one.
would troll better.
So
Like
Not even MAGA, you dumb.
it's always one.
MAGA, y'all gotta get your people together.
I
Every live I get called the N word. It never fucking fails.
I don't like it.
MAGA is off the
I'm
chart.
with you
But
on
anyway,
that.
we'll
I
move
just
on
don't
because
know
I'm
why
used
they
to it.
yell right away. Why don't they like ease it in and do it better? But whatever. That's my only criticism against that. It's just like you wait all this time and you come up and you just start
your
yelling.
ideas
You
must
like
be
there's ways to
based
troll
on your
better than
ideas.
that. Anyways, I
Don't give
hate
them.
that. I hate it.
I agree that trolls need to be more entertaining, but I don't think they need to use the N word necessarily to be entertaining. And I think slurs should be generally disavowed. Oil spill. What were you saying?
Yeah.
So only I'm saying is this: listen, the voters in that state voted for Ms. Harris, they voted for Mr. Newsom, and others. That's what it is. You can criticize, and there's no wrong with that. Nothing wrong
I
with criticizing. So
I,
nothing wrong with coming with
You
bringing
know
your
what,
I
Oil?
opinion.
I
agree
think
with
you're
him.
right. I think you're right. I used to be offended by the red states keep electing the same people in their states, and I had to take a step back. I don't live in those states. Those people want to vote for their demise. Keep voting for it. I don't give a fuck. I live where I live, right?
Hmm.
And it is for me. I live a happy fucking life. I don't live a life of, oh my gosh, the fucking sky is falling where I live, right?
Right.
So yeah, everybody has to do what they have to do. I get it.
Like for instance, I think I get what you're saying, oil spill, but if everybody just moved based off of where they felt comfortable, then you wouldn't really have representation.
So
You
you
would
would
just
actually.
Well,
You would
wait,
actually. If you could,
hold on, because Star, you said you moved to Mexico because you were so disengaged with Gavin Newsom.
no, because I got married.
Oh, I thought you said because Gavin Newsom's policies in the pandemic.
so
I thought that's what you
if
said.
Well,
if you
living
ever really
in there is some half truth there, because living in Mexico is way easier than living in California.
so I listen. I'm listening to this. I don't mind. I listen. You should, as an American citizen in whatever state you're in, voice your opinion or your disgust or your approval of whatever your government is doing. There's nothing wrong with that. And do your best to change, get the politics changed to people to believe what you believe and vote the way you vote and so on. So forth. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I don't get into hearing all the goddamn crying. I live in Florida, for instance, right? Our state has the highest and fucking all kinds of shit. Inflation was going off the fucking roof. All right, not just outside of this. My house took a year and a half to fucking build due to Gavin Newsom's dumbass immigration policies. All kinds of shit.
Well, yes,
Okay,
Philip,
Gavin
when I
Newsom?
get fed up enough,
Wait. Gavin Newsom or Ron DeSantis? I'm sorry. What are you talking
Ron
about?
DeSantis. I'm sorry, Ron DeSantis. I'm sorry.
I'm
Florida.
making sure. I'm like,
So,
how the fuck is Gavin affecting Florida?
I feel stuck.
so when I
look,
get fed up enough, if I decide I'm just fed up and I'm just through with it, I just fucking move. Why am I
I have a
gonna keep
question.
on?
Are the majority of Floridians happy with what Ron DeSantis did with the state?
They apparently so. They voted for him
Right.
again.
Wait.
So
Are the
the same
majority
thing.
of Californians happy with the way Gavin Newsom has ruled the state?
Apparently so. They voted
Yeah.
for him.
No. They're not.
Bro, I
Like,
give
if you
them
look
the
at
same
the
energy.
Very different.
if you look at the
times.
if you look
How,
at the consensus,
how you giving it different energy, sir?
Hmm?
What I'm saying is, the voters in Florida, they voted Ron DeSantis back into office. The voters in California voted Gavin Newsom back into office.
I'm
How's
looking
that
at
even different?
results and I'm looking at the thing itself. So, for instance, in California, are you familiar with Proposition 8? If you lived here for so long.
More than likely, I
No,
guess we don't want.
he doesn't. Hold on. In
How's the energy
California,
different?
hold on. I want to just get back to the Gavin Newsom conversation if I can. Gavin survived a recall. The Republicans recalled him, and what the state do? They said,
Big
"Fuck that,
time.
we keeping our governor." So I don't know what the argument is past
He
that.
won big time
Yeah, that's
too.
what
Like
I
it
call
wasn't
him.
even a close
I call him
contest.
Recall Newsom because
It,
I wasn't
it
even familiar
wasn't
with
even
it.
close. Thank you, Mosquito. Thank you for being an honest broker as a
It doesn't
Republican.
matter if it was close.
Yeah,
I
this is
want
a weird position
it.
for me to be
No,
in.
it's not a weird position. It's like we have to look at the results of what he did.
I
Like
I understand you, dude, but Californians want this, and I mean, we're a representative republic for a
Can you
reason.
define wampus?
Dude, he won recall in like an overwhelming majority against Elder. It wasn't even close. He got his ass kicked.
I don't care if he
Elder
won.
did.
I think that Newsom is not doing a good job. And if you look at what the point is,
That's
that
not the point
Floridians,
that we're making. We're just saying
people
that the
from
voters voted for him, and you can have your perspective. I agree with you,
That's an
Mr.
objective.
Starr. Mr. Starr, I agree with you. You can have your proposition, your points. I'm just saying the facts don't agree with you. Is the point that
yeah,
we're
and
making?
Proposition 8 was passed in California.
What's Proposition 8? I don't remember.
Proposition 8 was a ban on gay marriage.
Yeah, that passed in my state, Wisconsin, as well, on a constitutional amendment. And
A
it
ban on gay marriage? You must be talking like before 2004.
Are you from California?
Born and raised.
Okay.
I've lived in California since 1972.
This was like 2010 maybe.
It was.
Again, California has had legalized gay marriage since 2004.
Do you think that was a good thing that they put it?
Yes.
That they passed Proposition 8 just because the majority wanted it?
No. I'm not saying to that. But the governor in 2004.
So clearly, just voting for something in the popular vote doesn't determine whether or not that's a good thing.
I can't get the questions.
Proposition 8 passed in 2008. Funny.
Thank you. Yeah.
It passed in 2008, and the governor was marrying gay people in 2004 when he was the mayor of San Francisco. No, I think this is a
52% to 47%.
Yeah. So, I'm still trying to understand how do you hold different energy? How does he hold different? Let me ask you the question, sir. I'm trying to understand how you hold different energy. When I say Gavin Newsom excuse me, not Gavin Newsom. When I say Ron DeSantis was reelected by voters here in Florida, which means that the voters in Florida they liked him, so they put him back in. And how is that different from Californians
Glad you
who
asked, Bill.
were reelect? I'm not understanding the difference in this.
I can answer.
I'll tell you the difference, but Phoenix wants to join in, so let's hear his perspective. Go ahead, Turkey.
So I'm glad you asked, Gold Spill. So, because I'm obviously opposition, and I can see what you're trying to do is say, well, both of them won re-election, and that's true. Gavin Newsom even survived a recall. That's true. But here's the question: when in California, right, when it comes to governor's races and things of this nature, has California counties gone more red or more blue?
I don't know the answer to that.
Well, if you're talking about in the last presidential election, it did go more red.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Well, because
So
land doesn't
So
vote, and there's a
wait.
lot of empty
Give me a
land in
second.
California because
But it's the
Give me a
same. It's the same counties, though, is what he's saying.
So give me a second. So in Florida, did more counties go red or blue?
Red, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Exactly. Even
But you're
my
only talking about from the presidential.
No,
That's not fair.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. If you actually look up the percentage of voters that voted red, even against Gavin Newsom, right? Like voted against him, the number of Republican votes rose, right? And Florida, the
Okay.
number of Republican votes rose. So Gavin Newsom,
Okay.
even though he won the re-election, even though he survived the recall, he has actually lost votes. While on the other hand, DeSantis, on the other hand, has
Okay.
not.
Mhm.
He has not lost votes to Democrats.
No, I agree.
Oh,
I agree.
yeah, so let's-
Please, let me pause because I need a mosquito because mosquito's been the only fair Republican all my life. Mosquito, please translate this for me to make it make sense.
He's saying that Democrats have lost ground in certain counties in California, and Republicans have gained ground in counties in Florida.
Okay, so that is true. I'm not denying that. I agree 100%. Not denying it. What else we got at that point? California has the most Republicans than any state in the union. We have the most Republicans than any state in America.
It's also the most populated state. That doesn't tell me anything.
You're right. But if we're talking about Republican politics or we're talking about Republican voters in California, yes, you're right. I'm not denying that.
But what we've seen in California is more independents and Democrat voters changing to either Democrats either going more independent or independents going more Republican. What we've seen in Florida, however, is not Republicans going Democrat or independents going Democrat. So when it comes to popularity of these individuals, right? Again, I'm giving you that both of them won re-election. I'm giving you that Gavin Newsom survived a recall against Larry Elder because there is still more Democrats in California than Republicans. Even though the state is mostly, it's the largest populous state, so therefore there would be more Republicans there. They don't outnumber Democrats. So even if
we're a 2-to-1 state, we're 2-to-1 Democrat to Republican. So you're right.
Okay, so even if Gavin Newsom and I'm saying if because I know he won by a major majority, but what I'm saying is even if he were survived the recall by one vote, he would have survived the recall. What you have to look at is whether or not his policies are gaining popularity or losing popularity. And since more,
but I think that doesn't matter. I feel like hold on, because I think you
Look at the money.
Hold on, I don't think. Hold on, let me get the L in here. Hold on, let me get the L in here. I just don't think it really matters at the end of the day. A win is a win. Nobody gives a shit. If we're talking about the numbers, who cares?
Newsom's also a lame duck. He can't run again.
Wait. Do you see where that logic fails? We passed Proposition 8. Hooray. We won.
Yeah, but then it was repealed in 2024 with Proposition 3.
I I'm sorry. I need you to go back and look at Proposition 8, Mosquito. Go back and dig into that for me because, again, the state of California was the first state to legalize
It
gay marriage.
it
And I
doesn't
don't
really
even want to
matter.
talk about
It doesn't really
that.
matter because the federal
Y'all are
government, the Supreme
proving,
Court overruled,
y'all are actually proving, y'all are actually, when y'all are talking about Proposition 8 and Proposition 3, y'all are actually proving my point. Because at one time, being against gay marriage was popular. Now it's not, right? So whenever we're
right.
talking about
Yes, I agree. Even for Democrats, Democrats were not
just a second.
progressive on gay marriage.
Oh, really?
Obama
I'm
Because
and
talking
Joe
about, I don't
Biden
care about
they
gay
ran
marriage.
against gay marriage. That's Proposition 8. That's what he's
I
talking
don't
about.
care about gay marriage. I was using it as an
Of
example of what
course
I'm
you
trying
don't,
to get across,
because
right?
that's what you
So
do.
what I'm trying to get
Can I have
across
like
is
20 seconds?
Yes,
so
Miss Al. I'm sorry, Al. Go ahead.
Republicans love to talk about culture stuff, about gays and about abortion, and about all this stuff. And
yeah,
then
what
when it comes
are you
to
talking
feeding
about?
people and when it talks to insuring people and giving them health care, they're like, oh, there's not enough money, there's not enough money. When you look at California, where do we excel? We excel at money. We have that, and that's what Gavin will talk about ad nauseum. We have most of the Fortune 500 companies. We have more billionaires. We contribute more to the economy than any other fucking state. So Republicans, they
yeah,
go after culture shit when it serves them, and
Ma'am,
then
I'm
when
not the one
anybody
who
wants to
brought
do
up
anything
gay
good for
marriage. So
anybody
that's,
else, they're like, oh, we don't have
oh,
the money.
well,
We don't have the money. But who's making all the money? Who's making all the money?
ma'am,
It's California. Shut up.
yeah.
Wait, hold on. I don't want to be disrespectful. Hold on. Let's have fair debates without being disrespectful to everybody, to one another. Everybody
yeah,
has their
I'm all
passionate.
for that.
Hold on, Mr. Phoenix. Hold on, because
But
I
here's the
want to get
thing.
back
I'm
to
all
Mr. Oil Spill. Mr. Phoenix,
Yes,
give me a
ma'am.
second. Oil Spill, go ahead. I wanted you to
So
jump in.
yeah, so although I agree with a lot of what you said, Phoenix, that was irrelevant to the question that was being asked at the time. You're making a different point. So the point was whether or not the voters in California or the voters who put Ron DeSantis or whoever in office, why did they keep, why they doing it or whatever it can be. And I'm saying, regardless of whether or not you or I may or may not like the policies, the voters themselves obviously do. The majority in that state obviously do. Now I can agree that as the host also did, that have they, at least in this last election at least, have Republicans gained in that state? So yes, I don't have to disagree with that. That doesn't mean that the very next election they can actually lose that ground that they gained in this election right here. Because remember
But
now we have a lot of different things that happen. So and we
I
don't
think
know if that's happening to stay.
I think what we're talking about, if we're talking about the presidential election,
Yeah,
this is gonna pain me to say it. If this was a even in Kamala Harris's own home state, she just fucking got less votes than every other Democrat that's ever ran or for president in the state of California. That is a very shocking situation. I get it. I hear you. It pains me to say it. It truly does pain me to say that, but
Or she
that's a
did backers
candidate
and backers.
problem. That's a
Okay.
candidate problem. I don't think that's
I
a
don't think that's true.
policy platform
It was
problem.
also mail-in voting being lower out of C19. So
Listen,
California massively sent out mail-in votings as states like mine did in Wisconsin, and that wasn't the case in 2024.
We've
yeah.
been a mail-in state since 1963, sir. That did not start in
No,
2020.
I know,
I
but they
call
didn't.
bullshit.
Well, they just didn't massively send them out like they did in C19 in other years, though.
Well, yeah, you might be right. I mean, it was a
well, I agree with
popular
that. I agree with
method.
that too.
It's
That's
a
a
popular
different.
method
Yeah,
That's
to
also
drop
a
I mean
different
that's how
thing.
Joe Biden got 81 million votes, and then Kamala got what 74 million. I mean, it's like it's a drastic difference, and the reason is because of
Well,
mail-in
no,
voting. I'm not
honestly,
saying mail-in voting was not legal; like it's always been legal in these states. It's
Come
just
on,
like,
mosquito. I was with you the whole time, and now you're trying to give me this
oh,
bullshit. Are you trying to
wait, wait,
suggest
wait.
some stolen
I wanna
election
slot this
here?
no,
mosquito
well,
real
Like,
quick.
no, the
I need
ballots
to
are in the
slot this
box for
mosquito.
Biden, but they didn't massively send like these states sent everybody a ballot during C19 because of the pandemic.
Mosquito, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to just pause for a second because you made a really strong assumption. You said that the reason why Joe Biden won in the Democrats won was because there was mail-in voting.
No, that's not what he said. He said the reason he got 81 million votes, not because he won, just the number of votes that he got.
Yeah, it's
The
kind of
reason
crazy.
that
Yeah, Keep going, dude. You got it.
So the reason that Biden got more votes than Obama was because of mail-in voting.
No, I get it, but mail-in
that
voting.
wasn't going to affect his so-called win. You know whatever you deem happened in 2020, I don't really care about, right? But what I'm saying
That's not
is
what I'm saying either.
the only reason he got 81 million votes is because of how strongly mail-in voting was pushed.
Yeah.
Like he may have still
Not because Donald Trump fucked up the country during the pandemic. You don't give that any reason that
Well,
the American
Donald
people
Trump
was
got a
like,
lot of
"Fuck
votes
you."
though too. He got a lot more votes as well.
he got like
That's not the point.
78.
Hold on. I'm
Yeah.
not suggesting that he didn't.
It was
I'm
all
simply
relative.
saying the pandemic. Hold on. Let me give you some caveats here. As a Democrat, I say this honestly. Joe Biden would have never been president had there not been a pandemic. He would have never won that election in 2020 had there not been a pandemic. I concede that point. Are we all on the same page now?
I concur. I
concede that
concur.
point.
Say no, because the
Donald Trump
economy
could have
Joe
just
Biden would have
slapped
never
a
been
MAGA
president
on a
if the
bunch of fucking
pandemic never
face
happens.
masks.
Not he became president because of mail-in voting. He would have never been president because if Donald Trump hadn't been a failure on the fucking greatest threat to our existence as a people in our respective lifetimes, and he was such a horrible fucking president in that regard,
No,
that's why
he was
people
such
came
an
out.
idiot.
But go ahead.
So let
If
me respond
Donald
real
Trump
quick.
had
All right,
slapped
wait.
MAGA
I
on a bunch of face masks,
I did some research here.
he would have
I
won
can
in
pull it
a
up on the
fucking
screen if you want.
landslide.
But
All
Hold
he
on.
had to do
Just give me 1
was
second,
slap
guys.
MAGA on a bunch of face masks and sell it to his fucking cult members.
okay,
let me say something real quick. I got to get involved real quick. I just want to say this one thing real quick. So here's why I'm gonna disagree with you, host. So if the pandemic had happened, well, it did happen, but since the pandemic happened, had Donald Trump handled it properly, he still would have got reelected. So it's not just because of the pandemic; it was his handling of the pandemic that got that
Well,
cost
sure,
him.
that's what I meant.
So
that's what I
okay,
meant.
yeah,
And
because
well, that
I'm
was the
sorry.
talk.
I
That
thought
might have
that's
been.
what I was
Yeah.
trying to say.
yeah,
But
okay.
sure.
So
Yes,
That
if
might have
Donald
been.
I
Trump
think his
had
approval
not have
rating was
said
down.
we only have a problem in blue states, and if we just take out the blue states, we don't actually
literally,
have a
if he had
problem.
just
So yes, if Donald
left,
Trump had been the actual real leader that we needed him to be, and I'll say
no,
this.
he
Hold
didn't
on,
need to be,
ma'am,
all
please.
he
I'm
had to
talking.
do
I'm
was,
talking, ma'am. I'm talking. Hold on. I think Donald Trump could be the greatest president this country's ever had. I'm literally saying this as a Democrat who hates Donald Trump's fucking guts. If he fucking would just be just a dichotom of a decent human being, this motherfucker could go down as the greatest fucking president. Because he's not wrong on his points that he brings out about the problems of this nation. He's not wrong. His execution is always trash. It is always, how can I be the most insane asshole? How can I just be the most horrible fucking leader possibly in the history of America? The way he responds to shit is so fucked up. But
Would
he's
anybody
no,
like?
never been
Mosquito, it's
wrong
worse
on
than
his
that.
synopsis, in my
Mosquito,
opinion.
Thank you,
Mosquito, you're
Ronnie. I
giving him
like
too
you.
much
I
credit.
give you a follow. This is a really fun
Mosquito, let
panel.
me,
Sorry,
Now
Algo.
look,
Yeah.
he didn't even need to do anything. All he needed to do was keep in place
I gotta
what
go.
was set up by the Obama administration
Bye,
was
Oil. I
that
appreciate you. Love you.
they had a pandemic infrastructure.
All right. So,
Obama had set it up,
would
and
anybody like to
Trump
read some?
just scraped it into the trash because he just didn't like Obama. He didn't even have to do anything. He could have literally done nothing and handled it better.
Ow, I get you. I'm just simply suggesting. I think overall what I said is fair. I think it's a fair synopsis, right? Hold on. Somebody turned on their camera, and I always give deference to people turn on their camera. What you got?
Sorry, my screen is a little filthy, but all right. So this is 2020. The first number, 58 million, would be the amount of people who voted. In 2024, 154 million voted. So 4 million voted more in the previous, but there's some more data to consider. Over here are registered voters. Every year it seems to go up 3 million or 4 million if you notice in the pattern. So 129, 142. Well, that went up 11. And then there's 146, 135, and then it made another jump. And then it made 5 million. So there's 9 more. So if anyone wants to read the data, about 4 million less ended up totally voting. So what was the
Yeah,
thing
we
about the
agree.
mail-ins?
I'm not denying that. We
What's
agree.
the thing about the mail-in ballots, though, Mosquito, that you were saying?
So
62.
governors in certain states massively sent out mail-in ballots,
Yeah.
and that's what.
Yeah, I see it here. Because in 2020 it says the voter turnout VAP is 62. And voter turnout has 6
What is
points
BAP? What does
less.
that mean? What does that stand for? I don't know that vernacular.
I think, let me see what VAP is. VAP stands for voter age population.
Okay, got it. Okay, so we had a lot of 18-year-olds turn 18 or 17-year-olds turn 18 in that election. That's what I
Also there were
understand.
9 million more registered voters plus the mail-in thing, I think Mosquito was saying,
Yeah, from the 2020
could
There
election.
factor
were
into it. Yeah.
Like,
there were a
So
lot
which would
of
result into a higher
purges.
turnout, right? Because of how convenient it is.
correct. Also,
But
a lot
There were
of
a lot of
ballots were
purges.
harvested in my state, and I got to be careful what I say here,
Yeah.
because of TikTok. But yeah,
Wait, is that illegal in your state? Because it's not illegal in all states. It's only illegal in some states.
ballot drop boxes were deemed illegal, and then the Supreme Court changed 2 years later, and then undid a Supreme Court ruling. So we're a pretty crazy political state. So the 2020.
No. When you talked about harvesting, when I hear that word, I feel like people are saying,
Yeah,
"Well, this is instantly a meaning of fraud."
it
But it's like,
it
well,
is
and I don't
illegal.
think ballot harvesting is illegal in
Well,
most states.
it is because you have to be, so you, the person, the voter, is the only one that can turn that into the mail or into your local clerk. And what was happening here was people were going up and down streets and collecting all the ballots and then putting 50, 60, 100 at a time in a ballot drop box. First of all, the ballot drop boxes were completely illegal, and second, you can't touch another ballot legally. So it's a sort of gray
No, ballot
area, but
harvesting is legal in most states. There is only a handful of states. You should look this up for me and educate me a little bit here, if you can. But I think in most states, ballot harvesting is not illegal.
well, in my state, you can't have anybody else
In
touch
your
that
state,
ballot.
okay, in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I can
Okay,
only
in
speak for Wisconsin on this. I'm
I got you. I got you,
pretty
brother. I
educated
got
on
you.
it, but I will. Yeah, I'll preface. I can only speak for Wisconsin on this.
No. And in that case, your summarization would be right. But if I heard you correctly, the Supreme Court, I'm assuming your state Supreme Court, not the U.S. Supreme Court.
Correct. Right.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So originally in 2022, the Supreme Court ruled that ballot drop boxes were illegal because they are not in state law. And then California Democrats of all people bought new Supreme Court elections in our state via advertising and donation money. And our Supreme Court state changed from conservative
Wait,
to
why are you
liberal.
saying California Democrats?
A lot of
Not just all Democrats, or just why are you saying California?
46% of the Democrat money that comes into my state is from California.
Okay, I'll accept it. I
And
can't
the
challenge
reason
it, but I'll
is
accept it.
because like Reid Hoffman's and big billionaires up by you don't have to worry about California elections because it's going to be blue. So then they spend them in swing states like mine and try to buy influence via advertising. I'm not saying
Mosquito, I
there's
have a
nothing
question.
illegal about their money, but Democrats have a 2-to-1 advantage here as far as money right now.
Mosquito, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Since you seem so knowledgeable and good at like research, tell me about the voter roll purges in various states.
Are you talking about Elon money here in Wisconsin?
Oh, well, I didn't know it had to do with Elon, but I know that there have been a lot of voter purges in mostly
purges?
purple.
Hold on, stop. I wanna just stop what we're about to do. So now we're getting off my topic, and I
Yeah,
really
that's
want to stay
fine.
on California.
And honestly,
If I
I
can,
gotta
I
warn
truly
you.
want to stay on.
I gotta warn you about some of this. Not that it's good or bad, but some of this shit gets flagged. So I just want to protect you a little bit.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. I just don't want to get into the.
Yeah,
I don't really care about 2020. Joe Biden was the president. He
right.
was legally fucking elected, in my
He was.
perspective. I know a lot of
He was
Republicans
legally
don't
elected.
agree
Ask
with
about a
that.
specific
So
year.
we'll just move on. We'll
President
move
of the
on. I
free
want to
world.
get back to California if I can, and I want to get back to Mr. Stone.
Okay. As
Hold on,
soon
I
as
would
the
like to
person
get
from
back to.
California once has a question, then
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna say if you're president of the free world, but you have dementia are you still in charge? My bad.
Yeah,
Sorry,
he
what?
was. That's how our
Again,
system
I'm
works,
trying.
man. It's
I'm
messed
trying
up,
to
but
get
that's how it
off.
works.
We got so
I'm
far from
trying to get
California.
off of this. Why can't you guys let me be great
And
and
as
just talk about
soon as I
California?
ask a
Make
question,
California great again.
Jesus fucking Christ! You guys are talking about Joe Biden still. Get off of it. Nobody cares. You
Yeah,
we
lost.
didn't.
I was getting off
He
of it.
beat
What it was
Medicare. He beat
I
Joe
didn't say
Biden.
any.
Beat Medicare. Isn't that
He
enough?
beat
I
it.
didn't
Is
say
that
anything about
not
Joe
enough,
Biden. I made
motherfucker?
a quantum theory. I said, if you have to mention you're president of the free world, are you still in charge? That's all. But okay. Yeah, let's move on.
Back to Gavin
Sorry.
Newsom.
Yeah.
I want to get back to you, Star.
Yeah.
Give me more of your Gavin Newsom hit.
He strikes me as like a guy that doesn't really care, virtue signaler. That's all. I don't really know. He's boring to me. I've never felt like, I
He's
also don't know.
boring to you.
He's boring to me. Yes, he's not interesting. He doesn't
I
strike me as
actually love.
charismatic at all. That's just an adjective, not like a bad thing. I'm just describing him.
He's
Like
not
Trump,
charismatic. Okay,
like Trump is charismatic, right? Like Gavin Newsom is not charismatic.
I think Trump and Newsom are the same fucking charismatic people in my perspective. I'll die on that hill. I think they both are charismatic for their base. I think Gavin Newsom is the only person in the Democrat Party, in my perspective, that has been able to match energy with Trump. Trump is a fucking genius. He's great in terms of his comms, right? His communication style. He's fabulous. He's something that the Republicans wish that they always had. He's the reason why the Republicans nominated him, because they wanted an answer to the greatest president in terms of the orator, which is Barack Hussein Obama, right? I think they understood comms is really important. Communications is really important.
I think in California, because we're both Californians, we have had somewhat of a sheltered experience. Would you agree?
Shelter from what?
Like, from the rest of the world. Like, we're kind of living in a bubble. Because if you think about it, Obama was a good president for California. I'll tell you why. Because he was the first
Don't
black
just say
president.
for California. I mean for the country.
Yeah, for the country. Well, no, he wasn't good for the country because I think he did terrible things like the JCPOA and turning allies into enemies and basically effing up the world order.
You're
But
talking about the world. I said America.
yeah, but America, if you're not doing good things in the world and you're screwing up the world order, it's going to affect America's long-term interests. I think he might have been some sort of asset. I don't know. I dislike.
Bro, you are really all over the place.
Think about the JCPOA and then
supported JCPOA.
What?
I think it was I supported that. Yes, we should be able to check Iran's fucking nuclear fucking supply.
No,
yes,
we should have never signed them on because what ended up happening with Iran?
President Trump got us out of the JCPOA, and then they started fucking.
Which we should have. What did the IAEA? Because what did the IAEA report?
Again, you keep trying to make me talk about foreign affairs. I don't want to talk about that. I'm talking about California. Stay focused.
That's what I mean. But Rani, this is where I agree with you. Like for national happiness, it was great. Like first black president. Like, hey guys, like this is awesome. And he's also a liberal, and also like he's charismatic, and also he's a nice guy, and also he's a gentleman. Really great. Trump's none of that.
What are you? Wait, what are you? Are you a liberal or are you on the right? What's your politics?
I lean right. I voted for Hillary and I voted for Trump. So I'm not like married to either party.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, no problem. Keep going. I just wanted to know where you fell so I understand who I'm talking to.
Yeah. So like for us, it's like, I don't know. For me, it's like there was a lot of good things. Trump, on the other hand, is completely disrespected. Like South Park. If South Park did to Obama what, there would be no South Park season 25. So like, I don't know. Like for me, everybody likes disrespecting Trump. He gets to be disrespectful. And for me, that's karma just working in action. People often criticize Trump of being some sort of like bad mouth guy. And that's true. But we also disrespect the heck out of him. And Obama was a real gentleman and he got the same respect. But anyway, Yeah, I don't really
Do
have
you want to
anything.
jump in? Mosquito, jump in.
Go.
I hear what you're saying. I truly do.
Yeah, it's interesting saying
Go
you
ahead,
voted for
Mosquito.
Hillary. It's interesting hearing you voted for Hillary and voted for Trump all in the same breath. That's
That's
wild.
most Americans, I think, Mosquito, because honestly, like what drove most Americans out to vote for Trump? He didn't have a really good sales pitch.
Well,
It was
I thought
because
he overall
one side
did.
Wait,
cheese.
are you saying you voted for him in 2020 and 24, or are you saying I
Right.
make sure I
No,
understand?
I didn't vote for. I unfortunately missed November in 2026. I mean, sorry,
For
in 2020. 2020. So
2020.
I voted in 2024 for Trump, and I voted in 2016 because that was when I was 18, right?
Well,
Yeah.
if you voted for Hillary, it was
2016
16.
you voted for
Yeah,
Hillary.
it was.
2020 you voted
Yeah,
for. No, you
No,
didn't
you
vote in
missed.
2020,
You
but in
missed.
I
24
missed. Yeah,
you
missed that
voted
one.
for Trump. Got it.
Missed that one. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's a wild shift overall. I mean, a wild
I
shift.
think it's what most Americans did, though, Mosquito. Like I'm saying, in California, like I feel like the demographics moved and people moved more towards the right, and it had to just to do with the fact that Joe Biden was the worst president ever that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, he certainly was. I would agree with that overall. Also, you're in California. Your vote for a Republican really doesn't matter, in a sense. Like it
Right,
doesn't
and
matter at
also
all.
it's like, well, my local, ones mattered.
I understand that.
Yeah,
Possibly. Depends on where
it
you are in
didn't though. Yeah,
California.
you're right, because it didn't. Because even if it did, it didn't. I don't know because mm, I didn't like Mike. What's his name? Mike Livin, my representative, but he won, and that's okay.
Is he a
Bec-
Republican or?
he's a Democrat. He
Yeah,
was going
okay.
against this guy named Gavin.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But we'll just keep moving.
Yeah.
The Democrat won in your district. Fine, not
Yeah,
a problem.
Right, which is most of
but I don't
California is
mind
blue.
either
Not all.
because I like Mike Livin a little bit.
Like where I'm from Huntington Beach, California.
Oh, that's cool. Love Huntington Beach.
I'm born and raised HB. So
Love it.
I voted for a Republican mayor. I have. Now, that was in the past. I mean, that was pre-Trump. I will never vote for another Republican for the rest of my fucking life. I did vote for Schwarzenegger for governor in 2000, whatever it was.
That was
I
wild.
did vote for.
That was
Yeah,
crazy.
it was crazy.
You
That's
guys are
when you're
funny.
young, dumb, and full of cum, right? You're like you're fucking
Well,
stupid.
he
right?
won, so your vote.
Celebrities.
You went with the
You vote
majority.
for celebrities. I voted for Schwarzenegger. He was a terrible fucking governor.
Yeah, he was
He was
bad.
terrible, but I voted for him. He was terrible.
He was way better than Newsom. I mean, like that's just my opinion, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get back to the Newsom. Go ahead, Mosquito. If you have.
I was just going to ask about your mayoral election. Is that nonpartisan, or do they actually claim a party there?
In HB, we have Republican, Democrat.
Okay, because here all of those elections are nonpartisan elections, which are somewhat funny, but everybody knows their political leanings for big cities. But for smaller ones, it gets convoluted, and people hide and bob and weave and pretend there's something that they're not. So our local elections are in the spring, the first Tuesday in April, and those are all the nonpartisan seats, including our state Supreme Court. Which again, everybody they don't bob and weave that one, but technically not partisan, quote unquote.
Well, sure, and I'll tell you also. Again, I'm a transparent person. I vote typically for our DAs, Republican. No, I voted for Kamala Harris for AG, but typically, if we're talking law enforcement, I'm voting for a Republican. I'm not going to vote Democrat.
That's interesting.
I would have much rather have had Pete Buttigieg going against Trump in 2020. I would have much rather have had John Fetterman going against Trump in 2024, and I would have much rather have had whatever in 2016.
Well, Fetterman has turned into a whole different wild card, that's for sure. Holy cow! Who would have thought?
I mean, he's always been really smart, right? Like.
I guess I didn't know anything about him before the Senate race, but yeah, they hit him like crazy.
Yeah, Fetterman is a disappointment. I'll say that as a
Most
Democrat,
Democrats
he's
say
a
that,
disappointment
as
to
they
my
should.
party.
No, they
But
should. They should say that because he has not voted with the party line.
Fetterman as like the only example of a good Democrat before the shutdown. It's only a new thing that people are hating on Fetterman.
Well, yeah, they supported him completely through the election, but he's been a wild card since.
Yeah.
I think with Fetterman is before his stroke, he was a super progressive, and I'm not progressive. I'm a center left leaning Democrat. I despise like the squad, and I'm not on that side. I don't support the leftists in
Nice.
my party. I just don't.
I respect that.
So I don't. And so he was on that side of the fence. If when I remember anyway, when I was phone begging for him, he was on that side of the fence. I just thought he would have been better. Than I think he ran against
Yeah.
Dr. Oz.
Yes, he
So
did.
I was like definitely going to be supporting
So
of
you were
him
phone
over
banking
Dr.
for
Oz.
him.
Question: Do you,
I
Rani,
phone banked for
See,
fucking
you're
Fetterman.
part of the California that infiltrates swing states.
Yeah.
I support fucking my party.
It's okay, but you go to my example earlier with the money that floods my state in Wisconsin, and you're doing the same thing on your own effort. I don't fault you for it. It's good. But yeah, I just hope you see my overall point or whatever I was trying to make with that.
Yeah, but maybe.
No, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, Mosquito, actually, I get that. What was I
Yeah,
gonna say?
we
Something
actually
about-
get handwritten letters from California every election season. Somebody from Oregon, Washington State, or California, old ladies, write us handwritten postcards and send them to everybody around here how we should only vote for Democrats. It's crazy.
Yeah. I get those into my email still in my Gmail. I get
No, these are handwritten, like handwritten
That's
postcards.
smart. I think that's smart. I don't think that's crazy. I think that's the party pulling together for all the
Yeah,
candidates,
it's
regardless if
cute.
you live in the state.
I mean, it's not going to change my vote. I laugh at it, but I save every one because it's kind of just interesting. But they're handwritten. I mean, some of them are in cursive, which most people can't even read.
Because they were saying like something about ballroom spending, and I was reading it. It was interesting because they're good at their tactics, but they're always asking for $1, $5, $10, or more dollars, and I'm not willing to do that.
No.
But
we all need money from the political election side. We're always broke.
Yeah.
Especially Republicans. Republicans do not donate at all.
Yeah, true that.
Let me ask you guys about California in the Prop 50 and the redistricting fight that we're seeing across this country. Are you an advocate for the president's call for more Republican seats to be gerrymandered in mid-decade? Are you a supporter of that? Where do you guys fall on that?
Rani, can I just be edgy before I give my real opinion? So
Yeah,
I have to say it's called WTF, or first thought wrong. FWT, which would be wrong. So it's all because I always have the wrong first thought.
You got to work on that delivery, dude.
So that's what, and then it takes me the third time. So I think, to answer your question, that what was the question, real quick? Because
Redistricting.
What is your thoughts?
Gerrymandering.
Are you supportive of the president's
So I have to say two things that are effed up. So one,
gerrymander?
I wish Trump would reach further into Project 2025 and the bureaucracy to remove any unloyalties to Trump. All right. That's the first wrong thing. The second thing.
Wait. I'm sorry. Say that again. You were only loyalist to the president? Which means you don't care about the Constitution. I always find Republicans. You don't give a fuck about the Constitution.
No, that's first thought wrong. That's a part of the effed up. Like, you know when you have an intrusive thought and you got to let it out loud? Never mind.
I mean,
Maybe
I hear you. Mosquito, what do you think about redistricting?
Again, remember I live in the most craziest political state in the union. So the Democrats redistrict our state districts last year, and they're looking to do the congressional districts this coming year for the upcoming 26 election. I think all is fair in love and war. And when both sides are going to do it, they're both going to go crazy. Democrats have been doing this forever, and Republicans have been sort of doing it. But, Trump started the war in Texas, and here we are.
All right, Rani. Now that was the first thought wrong. The second thought has to also be a little bit wrong.
You got another wrong? Jesus Christ.
The comments are going crazy.
Go ahead, Star.
Don't look at the comments. Just talk.
But
Don't
they're
look at
going
the
crazy.
comments.
Okay, yeah, but they love it. All right, so J6. The only thing that was wrong about it was a failed insurrection.
Oh,
I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like you're making me mad. Like I
Intrusive
get what you're
thoughts.
doing.
It's
I
an
get what
intrusive
you're
thought.
doing.
Okay, now, all right, now here's my real opinion. All right,
Any real
regarding
red-blooded
redistricting.
American would fucking find that abhorrent what happened on J6. I'm sorry. If you're a true American patriot, you do not see that as a good thing.
I'm just letting the intrusive thoughts out. It's true. You're right. I concede. Next debate. See, they go crazy in the comments. All right. Now, the third thought has to be correct and actually honest. So, redistricting. What is redistricting? Define it real quick.
Changing the maps to your political favor. So you are
All
finding
right.
areas of what in districts where it would be beneficial for you to, or not beneficial, you would actually win.
Right.
Right.
You know. Yeah. Like what happened. Yeah. Yeah. Plenty of examples.
Which is
Yeah.
why I said Proposition 50, right? Proposition
Yeah.
50 was California's response to Texas. And
Yeah.
we overwhelmingly, I think we got 60, 68 point something
What is it?
in the
Territorial
affirmative.
seats or something?
I'm sorry?
Is it about seats or not about seats?
Yeah, it's seats in Congress only, in the U.S.
So
Congress.
that's what I thought. What does it get? Like 2 more seats?
We get 5 in California. Texas got 5 in their area by their gerrymandering.
5?
They got 5. California got 5.
Like that means that means like 5 more Democratic seats and 5 less Republican seats, which is like
Correct. But again, this is somebody still got to win those elections, right? Even in Texas, somebody still has to win that election in 26 in the midterms. Somebody still has to win. However, it's going to be easier for these people to win based on the gerrymander that happened. Normally our gerrymander is every 10 years, which we accept. We always used to accept that, right? Once we get the census back every 10 years, we go in the state's gerrymander. That's legal.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, but I think
We typically never do mid-districting, mid-decade redistricting, and you just said mosquito in your state. They did something last year.
yeah.
Me, I didn't know about that. I'm shocked.
Yeah, so as California Democrats have bought up our Supreme Court, they did it for our state districts last year, and the Democrats picked up legislative districts. I now have a Democratic state senator. I have never had one in my lifetime. And they're looking at doing it.
Your senators,
my state senator.
Senator is,
my state senator.
Oh, state, not
not federal. Right. We're split.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
My state senator is now a Democrat, big time lawyer daughter. And I've never had a Democratic state senator in my entire life, living in this area. So that's fun. But I live near Milwaukee, so they carved out Milwaukee and shoved some of the suburbs in there and yada, yada. Here we go.
So your state did redistricting for your local elections. Now,
right.
I hadn't heard that's a thing. I didn't know that. I thought it was only on the federal elections.
Oh, they're doing that next. Yeah, so they did that this past year. And then, so the April election was whatever. No, it was 24. Anyways, whatever, they did it. And now they're doing it for the congressional maps federally for 2026. And they're hoping to, I don't know how much they're actually going to be able to change, just the way that Wisconsin is. But yeah, it's already in court process right now. It's on its second stage.
What's your legislature? It's not a trifecta, right? Your legislature is not a House and a Democrat, right? And
we have an assembly. We have a state Senate, and then we have the governorship.
Do you work in politics?
And it's all Democrat? It's all Democrat?
No, our legislator is still slight majority Republican, but we lost ground because of redistricting.
Do you work in politics?
I am a former elected official.
Oh, nice. Do you know Liberty Sean?
Liberty Sean? I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Should
Anyways, sometimes I hear the political world's small world. Like his name is Charlin.
Charlin. It is a small world. It is somewhat small, but is he in Wisconsin or something? Or
I think he was doing more things in, what was the big swing state that Elon was doing in?
Mine.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, another one.
Pennsylvania. Yeah. He was.
That's not.
I think he's from Texas though.
Oh.
But he did some. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that would translate to mosquitoes area of your state. But anyway, we'll get back to just the redistricting conversation. So, mosquito, you're a supporter of it, of gerrymandering.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't. I just wish we would stick to the 10-year thing, but Democrats play their games and Republicans play their games, and here we are. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Republicans, or wouldn't you say, what? Okay, I'm kind of on the caffeine now. What is the future of MAGA?
That's a good question because after Trump, it's going to change again. And Trump's going to be gone. And then Republicans always go in disarray when they don't have the big leader. And then they go nuts for 10 years. And then we.
Well, wait, hold on. I want to ask that. Now we're going to get back off my topic. Thank you, Star. Thanks to Star here. Does MAGA die when Trump goes away, or does MAGA continue under JD Vance?
No,
a
I don't
good
think
question.
MAGA continues under JD Vance. Hopefully, we get back to some normal Republican type stuff, but not. I like the fight of Trump, and I hope we continue that. But the MAGA thing, yeah, that's kind of like the Tea Party thing. It'll fade.
Oh my! I was gonna say I don't think it is a Tea Party thing though. I don't think so.
It's
It
not the
has to
same.
evolve from Trump because
Yeah,
go ahead.
but sorry, it's just a term. These are just slogans. And the Tea Party
No,
thing,
I'm
we
saying
got.
I agree with you more than I disagree. But go ahead.
Sure. I think it's more of a slogan thing. And actually, MAGA was kind of a term I think that Democrats kind of gave us just as an acronym. But we glom onto it like good Republicans instead of letting it eat at us.
No. MAGA was what Trump said. Don't put that
No,
on
I know it's
Democrats.
Make America Great Again, but I just remember it as Make America Great Again. And I think that Democrats just called MAGA as this big old kind of slogan to sum up a whole bunch of stuff. And I don't mean to get at a big point on this, but
You can talk about 1930s. It's okay, bro. This is a safe space.
no, it's
okay,
fine.
continue.
But I think MAGA will fade overall. And if Vance takes it over, which I'm pretty much the same age as Vance. He's, we have a lot of similar views, so I really like Vance. But I don't think he's MAGA overall. From that standpoint, I mean, that's Trump's thing. That's Trump's slogan. That's Trump's hat. That's Trump, right? So we're gonna have to move on from that.
I think that's kind of something in your party is, and not to just get on Republicans, I'll talk about Democrats as well, but I think your party needs to understand, like, yeah, Trump is the fucking 800-pound gorilla, but the rest of you Republicans are not. You're not. You're not him. You know what I mean? You actually see shame, not maybe you personally, but a lot of the Republicans see some shame in this, in this shameless party, apparently, in my opinion. I know, again, Republicans
Yeah.
have always been the what do you call yourselves, the fiscally conservative people, but every time this fool's been president, you motherfuckers explode the deficit. It's like you only care about the deficit when a Democrat is in charge, in my opinion. The Republicans are fucking shameless. You don't care about the
I mean,
deficit.
somewhat. Yeah. I mean, my state senator, Ron Johnson, definitely hates this deficit.
Jesus
But
Christ, Ron Johnson's
oh,
your
I love.
senator. That's right.
Yeah,
Who's your other senator? Is
Tammy,
it Tammy
Tammy Baldwin.
Baldwin?
Yeah, you like her. Yeah, she's never even here. She doesn't know anything about the state. Ron Johnson's. I'm good friends with Ron Johnson. I love Ron Johnson. And he's a great fiscal conservative, but he's one cog in the wheel, and they just put all this shit in a bill, and you got to vote for it. It sucks. But as long as our debt is traded in the U.S. dollar, we will be okay. As soon as our debt is not traded in the U.S. dollar globally, we are absolutely effed. So watch out for that. And that is direct.
Wait, aren't we seeing that being a threat right now?
Well, as long as it's traded in the U.S.
The
dollar,
dollar is sinking.
I know, but as long as it's in the U.S. dollar, we will be okay. If we ever change to the Chinese, whatever the hell it is, or the whatever peso,
what is it called? BRICS?
no,
the BRICS
China's got something
nations?
it's like a yuan or something. I don't know.
It's called the yuan.
Yeah, they have
Yuan.
the yuan or the yen or
But
the whatever.
as
yen
long
is
as the U.S. or as long as the global debt is traded in U.S. dollars, we will be okay because we can control that.
Yep.
And this is direct advice from Warren Buffett, who I trust immensely from a financial standpoint. He is brilliant. But yeah, we're okay.
A
We have $38 trillion,
Republican
which is terrible.
supporting Warren Buffett is so unheard of.
Oh,
He
really?
is
No,
such
he's
a
brilliant.
fucking
He's
liberal.
brilliant financially.
I'm
He's absolutely
fascinated
brilliant.
by that.
Yeah, he's
He
brilliant.
is. I agree.
Yeah,
He's
and I don't know
outstanding.
what political aisle. I think he's a little more conservative, but I think he plays both sides because I mean the guy's really really freaking brilliant. My campaign manager actually, I don't want to say too much, but directly works with Warren Buffett in a certain way, and that's all I'll say. And a lot of this comes from that communication. So I do respect his opinion financially. Um, yeah,
Sure.
Again, I just wanted to say, like, I totally, I followed you. Hopefully, you follow me back. But because
oh, I already have. Yeah,
you've
of
been so
course.
rational as a Republican. Again, I don't respect a lot of MAGA, but you've been very rational,
Yeah, I
and I
mean,
appreciate you being
I
rational.
held a nonpartisan position overall. You know, I'm pretty hardcore conservative, but you know, I had to work with both sides, and I ask a lot of questions. And I only come here to talk to Democrats. I've been on TikTok for a couple of months because I'm retired politically, and I missed the debate. And I found this shit, and I'm like, holy cow, you can just talk to people instead of bitching them with the comment section of Facebook. And then I only talk to Democrats. I mean, I've talked to thousands of Democrats on this app. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I prefer talking. This is why I have the debate topic: Gavin Newsom destroyed California. Typically, gets MAGA or Republicans into my lives. I prefer talking to your side than I do my own. I don't want to talk. I don't like being in the bubble of my own
Yeah,
beliefs.
it's an echo
I
chamber.
just
It,
personally
it
don't.
yeah, I rarely go into conservative lives. I mean, every once in a while I'll stop in because they invite me in. Hey, how you doing? And I stay 5 minutes, and it's just an echo chamber, right? And echo chambers are boring to me. I want to be challenged. I want you to challenge me, and I want you to refute me, and I want myself to learn from that, which makes me a better conservative, actually.
Yeah, I totally,
Or
totally agree.
or or I change views. I've changed views because of this app. I've changed views on pew pew laws and universal background checks and all this crazy stuff. But totally changed views, and I think that
Wait,
makes
you
me
changed on 2A? I'm so pro
well,
2. I'm a
somewhat.
2A
I
liberal.
was more educated on it. So, I mean, I don't know if you want me to stray too far, but on universal background checks, I never really knew what that term meant. And then it was explained to me by people that have now banned me on TikTok, which is funny. But yeah, they explained it, and I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. So I would, if I was ever in a bigger position politically, I would push for universal background checks from the way it was described to me there.
But yeah, it's common sense, right? You know,
Well, yeah,
no
that's
state
funny
can
because
do some banning of 2A unless it's the entire country. I'm talking not, I shouldn't say banning of 2A, but regulated of 2A, right? It needs to be comprehensive. We'll take a state like your state. I think your state's close to Illinois,
yeah,
if I remember the
yeah, we
correctly.
yeah, our shit runs south on Illinois. So yeah, we don't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
them.
yeah. So your state's close to Illinois. So most the pew pews that go into Illinois come from your state or Indiana or whatever the surrounding
Yeah, they're
states are,
stolen
right?
out of our
They come
vehicles.
from your area. Oh, it's stolen or bought from the store, the guns, the
Maybe.
firearm store, right?
Sure.
I'm trying to be TikTok Millie here,
Of
but
course.
most of them are bought from actual stores, right, or whatnot. They can't buy those weapons in the state of Illinois, so they go cross border, right? And so that's where the what you were just talking about. That's where that comes in. The universal background checks needs to come in. It's all states need to do the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
All
basically,
states.
because right now I didn't know, but what I learned was that states are the ones that actually do the 2A background checks. It's all individual on each state, and we don't have a federal like standardized system. And I was like, "What, really?" And then it hit me. I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense," from what I've learned and what I've experienced. And I think
I respect mosquito.
a
That is
federal
fine. I
standard, as long as it's
respect.
not too crazy. But like my state alone, when I was a kid, you had to wait 48 hours for a hand pew pew, right? Well, now we got rid of that from Scott Walker back in like 2010 or 11, and now you can get a hand pew pew. As long as you pass the background check, you can pick it up same day, right? And that's good or bad. But this ranges from state to state. In some states, it's like almost impossible to get one. In some states, you get one, within an
Well, in
hour.
California, we have a 10-day waiting period. I don't find it wrong. We have two AR platforms that we can purchase in California, just two.
Mhm.
There's a range of AR platforms that you can purchase, obviously, across the country. I don't see that as a problem. I don't see that as a wrong. Me and my husband, we have several weapons. We are pro 2A liberals.
Oh, Democrats have more
So
pew
we
pews than anybody.
Thank you for saying that
Oh,
fucking
it's
Misato,
100%
because
true.
you
100% true.
motherfuckers, and the rest
Mm-hmm.
say six, you got more, but no, liberals,
No,
we've been rocking with
it's
this shit for a lot longer
liberals.
than
Hell yeah.
y'all.
Well, we're all gonna fight together someday. It doesn't really matter, right? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
say
I don't
that
want to
because I
fight
don't
you.
think
Yeah, that's all I'm
America's.
saying.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't. I'm talking about an enemy. And I'll give some stupid, crazy synopsis or analogy here. If aliens came down, like we would literally. I don't know. Did you see the movie Civil War?
I
It
don't
came
think
out a
so.
couple of years ago.
No, I
Oh my
don't.
god,
I'm not good at catching up on
you should
movies.
watch it because it was
Yeah.
literally Texas and California joining together in terms of their not National Guard but their paramilitary, whatever we call those folks, mercenaries and whatnot.
Yeah, basically.
They fucking went against the entire. It's literally the new
Yeah.
Civil War, right? And it was from that stance, it was unbelievable because how the fuck would California and Texas join together? Like, what the
Well,
fuck are you talking about?
that's
Right? It
what
was
I was kind of saying.
unbelievable.
Like, we're gonna join forces if we have to, because we're Americans first,
No, but
right?
it was joint forces against the American people. It was not against
Oh,
like
I see.
communists or aliens or some other
Aliens.
foreign countries in that movie. So anyway, watch that movie. It's fascinating. It's a really good
What's it
watch, in
called
my
again?
opinion. It's called Civil War. That's what
Civil.
it's
Oh,
called.
well,
Civil War.
that's easy to
It's just
remember.
called Civil War.
There you
Yeah,
go.
it's
Oh,
called Civil
jeez.
War, and this was like a couple years ago. It was a great
Huh.
movie, and I left disturbed because I'm like, this shit
Ooh.
could actually go down.
I kind of like those
And in
movies
the
that leave
movie,
you disturbed.
there's this one scene, and he says that one of the guys who tries to take over, right? He's like, well, he's talking to other Americans. Well, what type of American are you? Right? That's what you're American. What type of an American are you? Are you on my side or on the liberal side, or whatever? And it was a fascinating in that context. I think that's where we'll probably go. It will never be a civil war on we're going to protect America from the enemies abroad. It's going to be a civil war, Republic, conservative, liberal.
Yeah, good. I hope not. We don't need to go there, but
I
yeah,
don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you.
no.
I don't hate you guys. I think you guys are stupid, in my opinion, and my politics and my political lens. And you probably think we are the same on your side as well. So we can have that conversation. But I don't want
Um,
to kill you. I don't want you not to
no.
exist.
But that's what makes America great. I found in my days in politics is the division is actually what makes government sort of work together. As much as you don't maybe believe it from the outset, but when government starts completely agreeing with each other is when you get tyranny and when you get monarchies. So that division, that headbutting is what slows government down and keeps both sides kind of fighting for each other's interests. If that makes any sense.
Wouldn't it be great if we just fight for American interests? Wouldn't that be
Well,
great?
I know, but always agreeing
Wouldn't that
again,
be fucking great?
always agreeing leads to tyranny because if the government completely agrees with each other, oof, I don't know, it's scary shit.
I don't know. I feel like we're in a tyranny situation. I'm sorry, and maybe we can talk about this. I think your party is a tyrannical government. I think the president is tyrannical right now. I think there's a lot of unchecked power that I've never seen in my 53 years of life. I've never seen the Supreme Court say, oh, you know what? The only person in America that's above the law is the president. They solidified that shit last year in their Supreme Court ruling, which is crazy work in my
Yeah,
opinion. Like, the president should not be unchecked power. That's just crazy.
yeah. I mean, I think that ruling just kind of makes the presidency work in general. I don't think he is quote unquote above the law, but he needs to do his job, and I think that's what they ruled.
He needs to do his job. But
Yeah,
when Joe Biden
or
tries
her
to do
job.
his job and I want to forgive student loans, the court say, well, no, you got to go back to Congress. But when Donald Trump says, I want to tax the entire fucking world and give tariffs on the world, now they're sitting here and him hawing it. Instead of saying, no, bitch, you don't have the unmitigated right to do tariffs on the entire fucking world on your own. You have to have Congress.
Yeah, well, I mean, in that sense, Congress has not put any check on the presidency in quite a while for tariffs, from my understanding. I don't know if that's going through the court system now, and if it is, it'll be interesting to see what comes of it. Maybe it should.
Well,
But
yeah, it's in the Supreme Court now. The
okay.
actual because President Trump used the IEEP. Or I think it's IEEP. So he used some 1960s law or 1970s law that gives him powers in terms of an emergency, right? So he declared an emergency when he became president. He did,
Yeah.
right?
Oh no,
In that
I'm not. Yeah,
context, you're
he
right
found some
to declare.
technicality. I'm sure of it. He's
This is
had.
one thing I love about Donald Trump. I love this about our president. As I was going to be disrespectful, but our president, Donald Trump, has made me understand our Constitution ain't shit. The laws mean nothing. Congress ain't shit either. He's made me understand that none of this is all fugazi. All of it. The entire American experience is a fugazi fucking handshake. Nothing is actually set in law. Nothing actually really is legal because you can challenge it all. I never knew a president can challenge an amendment in the Constitution. When he's challenging the 14th Amendment, I'm like, wait, when did that become a thing? I didn't know you can challenge the actual Constitution.
Eh,
Donald Trump's proven you can. I didn't know that.
absolutely. I mean, yeah. Now you're finding it out. Everything is up to interpretation. That was my job in local government. I mean, I challenged absolutely everything that stood in my way all of the time. I want to do this. Why not? What can I do to get her out? Okay. I mean, I was on the phone with legal. I mean, my lawyer hated me, but yeah, that was my job. Constantly challenging it.
Yeah,
And in my
but the
opinion, it was a good one.
Constitution I always thought was set in stone. I mean, that's
Well,
what you're taught when you're in school. Your
yeah,
Constitution is what it is. That's the law of the land.
I know, but have you ever read it? I mean, I'm sure you have. It's kind of it's
Yeah,
vague. It's vague. I mean, it's not like it's even written
it's
with
not vague. It
today's
doesn't
language.
consider it doesn't
You
consider
got to think
today's
like a politician,
issues.
though. Every single word can always be debated and questioned. You got to think like a politician.
And again, this is something that I appreciate about Donald Trump. I appreciate. Well, wait, why are you challenging the 14th Amendment, the only amendment that actually granted Black people to be citizens? And I feel like that there's some ulterior motives from the conservative side, because I know you guys only want a white country. This is my belief. This is my personal belief. And so it's like, why are you challenging that one fucking law that makes Black people citizens? I feel like there's some ulterior motives here, so I don't respect the angle here, but I respect Donald Trump's willingness to challenge again because I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. Well, it obviously has to do with,
You could challenge
immigration
state
and
law,
birthright
but not the
citizenship, and
Constitution
it has
itself.
it has nothing to do with slavery children anymore, which was its original purpose. So maybe it does need to be looked at. I mean, that's for your own personal opinion. If they think birthright citizenship should be here to stay forever, I don't know.
Yeah, but if they overturn the 14th Amendment, does that mean Black people don't exist?
Well, no, you were all born here.
I mean, but we're born here, sure. So are the immigrant kids.
Mm. But you were born here
They're
with
born
parents
here.
of citizens, so you'd be at least multiple generations by now. Multi generations by now. Well, I'm sure.
That's
Okay,
the challenge.
this
Okay,
wasn't a discussion I was
okay.
prepared for, but so my brain is just thinking on
Mosquito,
this.
if you
It
don't
was a
want to talk
good.
about it, we don't have to.
No, it's fine. It was just that was a good question. You presented a really good argument there, so my brain had to stop and think for 2 seconds. But you're multi generation by now, and I'm sure they'll write something. I don't even know if this thing's going to go anywhere. But I would think that they would write something in that would clarify that. Well, what they're asking the Supreme
Do you
Court
believe
is to
this is
decide.
only for the quote unquote illegal immigrants' children? Do you really believe that? I think it's an
Well,
ulterior motive.
where would they deport African Americans to? Back to? I mean, come on, that seems a
Yes,
little.
back to Africa. I believe that.
But you're not from there.
I know, and neither are the children of the immigrants are not from
True.
from where their parents came from. So, what are we really talking
Well,
about
it
here?
wouldn't be. I mean, these things are usually grandfathered in, right? So it wouldn't. It wouldn't claw back. You couldn't claw it back.
I hope they would.
The Supreme Court's not that evil. I mean, overall, the Supreme
I
Court
don't
has
know.
the best interest of this country
Hey,
in mind.
brother, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, we're going to
don't
send you to some random country country in Africa. I mean, come on. Like,
I don't know.
well,
I
the
don't know
American
where this-
people would not support that at all. I wouldn't support that. I would stand up against it. That would be ridiculous.
Would you?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you another scenario. I'm married to a white man, right? I know conservatives have their panties in a bunch about interracial relations because you want white babies being born in this country, right? My kids are mixed. And
Mhm.
so, you know,
You there? Now it's the Mosquito Show. Welcome to the Mosquito Show.
violence is in court. And
Oh,
then
there you are.
Congress passed,
Sorry, you cut out for a while.
I think the Marriage Equality Act. Oh, did I? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was having my own show.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know where I caught off, but in the context of interracial marriage, right? I'm married to a white man, and so my opinion is, I didn't realize my marriage was up for grabs because I thought this was settled law, right? And then it made me understand, okay, well, when the Supreme Court rules on something, it actually isn't really law. That's just their fucking temporary ruling until the next set of Supreme Court justices come on, right? But then when Joe Biden becomes president, they passed the Marriage Equality Act, which means my marriage is now solidified in law, technically. I mean, I don't know if they can try to get rid of it, but I know your party, people in your party, was an advocate against interracial marriage. Because
Well-
you guys want more white babies, you just guys, in my perspective, that's what.
Yeah, I mean,
But anyway.
I've got a couple neighbors that have interracial marriages. The kids are cute. Anyways, my perspective is that we're all going to be one race someday. In thousands of years or 10,000s of years, the history of this planet will be all one race. So that's just the way it's going to be. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I just want to be the American race. Can we just be that? But
Yeah,
we're
I've always
not.
said that when I
So-
was in college. Why can't we just be American race? I always thought that was cool. But nobody
No,
wants to
but
glam
to
onto
me,
that.
that's what we should be, you know. But we segregate everything: your employment, the unemployment rate, the people in prison. It's all segregated by race. Like, why are you doing this? Why? Who cares?
I
It's
don't-
Americans. Americans are criminals. Americans. It doesn't matter what the race is. It doesn't matter in my perspective.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I live next to Milwaukee. We have a very diverse population around here overall. It doesn't matter to me. I wouldn't be as supportive of anything that says, I mean, I can't even begin to think how they would make that law about you can't marry interracially. That just seems extremely un-American. I mean, we're all mutts. We're all mutts here by now. At least I mean, even white people are mutts in their own white European, you know, what am I, German,
Exactly.
Swedish, English, you know,
Exactly.
I'm a mutt of all the whites. But
My
overall,
husband is too. So again,
Right.
so yes, everybody's fucking mutts. Everybody. This whole country.
well,
The
yeah,
notion
even
of little
African
green lady-
Americans. I don't know. Do you know what
And that's what
country
I'm
you're
saying,
originally
even us.
from? Do you know what part of Africa you're actually originally from?
Only through my 23andMe.
Which I've heard-
I only know that.
Which I heard that's not that accurate from another conversation I've heard on the TikTokaroos about an hour ago. So who knows?
Yeah. Again, I only know from what I know. Right.
Right. And apparently we're all from North Africa. So yay us. And somehow I
Anyway,
went
you got
from
anything else?
no, I don't know. I've been on here long enough. You've been really awesome. Honestly, you're probably one of the better.
No, and you have been
the
as well.
best.
I really appreciate.
I mean, I would put you top. I would put you top 10, if not top 5. Not to toot your horn too much because you're a horrible Democrat and I'll hate you for life. But no, I love you. I love you.
I love you too, brother. And I hope
You've-
you have a really great Thursday.
Yeah.
I think it's Thursday. Yeah.
I think it's Thursday. Yeah, I got to get the kids up soon for school and they got to do their Thursday
You guys,
thing.
you
So.
you have a fabulous day. Okay.
You
my
as well. I hope to chat to you soon.
friend? Talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right.
Everybody, so that was my conversation that went that went all around the world in terms of original. What I wanted to talk about was just California politics, and this gentleman was a Trump supporter, MAGA, but I'd like to have respectful conversation, and he was very respectful. Those are the people I like talking to. There's